All right. Well, here we are, another episode of the Flippin Sticks Throwin Lead podcast. We're going to do a super quick intro because Mr. Wagner's got to fly. We're really excited about a lot of different things right now, but Wags, I'll let you have the floor because you have something in your hand. 3 boxes of goodies.
Oh, he gave us a lot. So in the baseball world and even in just the general community now, so many people are focused on nicotine pouches, whether it's the big Zinn company, there's all types of nicotine. Being with the baseball team, we decided that the nicotine was becoming very, very addictive, but the caffeine we wanted the ability to be bright-eyed. Yeah, we wanted to be wide awake and ready. So I reached out to a gentleman named Ben who works for a company called Whip Energy. And Whip Energy was very, very gracious into sending us to get some of the baseball players to switch over from nicotine and go to a caffeine pouch. And again, this has nothing to do with our podcast. I'm just doing it because I want to give a shout out to him, because as the hunting season comes out, we will be out there for long times. We will need that bright eye. We need that caffeine. Guys will be carrying their coffee. The pouches will be there. But if you can switch over to a caffeine pouch, like I said, Whip has been great. I brought three flavors that they sent us. They sent us a whole box, and the guys have been using them. The transition's been good, but it's very hard to get people off of nicotine.
Yeah.
And I realized that the 2 that we've changed, it was only because they were just accustomed to something in their bottom lip.
Right.
So hopefully the caffeine gets them off of the nicotine. It is a transition for them, but for me, I've been off nicotine for many years now. The caffeine pouch is one for me, and I'm very, very grateful to Whip Energy, and Ben especially. Thank you very, very much, and I hope you get to see this as we will put this on in a very quick short.
Yep. Yeah, which is super exciting because you think about it. I mean, Wags, one night you're going to shoot a huge stud buck, and we're going to be out there tracking it until 3:00 in the morning. I'm going to get a 2-hour nap and have to go right back to the blind. I'm going to sleep in the barn, and I'm going to throw one of those in because it's going to be the only thing to keep me awake in the morning.
Absolutely.
But that's just exactly the scenario. I mean, that happens more than we know. Charisma Customs, shout out to those guys. Their big car show's coming up on September 19th. Check out their Facebook page for everything that you can expect from that. But anything for the outdoors. I mean, if you're ATV, UTV, boat, any of those things. Oh my God, the boat topic just reminded me of something else. We got so much to talk about next week. So shout out to those guys, charismacustoms.com. Want to give a big plug to HHA USA. We were just talking, or we talked about Chris at one point in our episode today. The final event is actually this week. It's happening right now. Up at the Lambeau area, De Pere area, but just been such a great partner. We're going to have more on that coming up soon. I'm sure we'll have Chris on again at the end of the year if they're launching something new, which I think one of my buddies on Instagram is the first person to do the demo product. Like they get it in advance and they have to censor it out. The first harvest with the new HHA site is in the books. A pronghorn.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So that is great. So those guys, hhausa.org. Check out everything that they have going on. And then you know what? Hallelujah. We have a seed partner. And when I went out there to swap a battery yesterday, wouldn't you know it? We just needed a little dusting of rain, and we've got some sprouts happening all over the place. Super, super happy with what's happening with the Physis product. I was only on the one food plot, but I'm happy to say that I think if it's growing in one spot, it's growing in the other.
Right.
Slightly different mix of seeds that we used on the 2 food plots, but boy, it was so cool to put that video together and just kind of see all the work that we
did. And I hope if you didn't get to see the video, go to Wisco Bow Hunting or Back 40 Media.
Yep.
Because the video that Tasker put together is phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. I just wanted to tell you that was a great job. So many people have said they liked it. But again, with Physis, I didn't want to veer off of that, but the work you did on it was awesome. Yeah, it was very, very nice. It was very good, but yes.
Yeah, well, it helps to have good equipment and somebody to help pull it all together. So, But yeah, so we'll just wrap it up there. I know you got to get going, so we'll cut it short.
And we'll
Quick
follow
intro.
the seed. And we'll follow the seed process.
Yeah,
that was good to see it. So that little bit of rain really did help.
We will be doing that. But yeah, boy, just pretty much overnight, it seemed like everything started to pop. But our show today, since we're doing this kind of backwards, is with Dr. Joe Ogden, who is a doctor of physical therapy. He specializes in working with archers. I tried to say that together. Hunters and archers, specifically for shoulder and rehab work. Wags has known him for a long time from the baseball world, and it turned into a conversation that I didn't really expect. It was really, really cool just to hear some of his insight on just what kind of a bow should I be shooting? Should I drop my poundage? Should I shoot a shorter draw length? Like a lot of different things that we got into with that. And yeah, it's a great one. So here it is. Without further ado, Dr. Joe Ogden.
In Wisconsin, the stories start before sunrise. They start in a deer stand, in a duck blind, on the front deck of a bass boat. Welcome to the Flippin Sticks and Throwin Lead podcast. With your hosts, Eric Tasker and former Major League pitcher Paul Wagner, this is everything outdoors. Hunting, fishing, conservation. The wins, the misses, and the memories that stick with you for a lifetime. Out here, you earn your stories. And we're here to tell
you
them.
have like 5 interviews that you're working on for.
And this one came up like that.
It was perfect. Perfect timing, perfect all of that. So kudos to you, sir, because there's a lot going on. It's hard to keep up with everything, but we're doing it. And yeah, so Dr. Joe Ogden is our guest this week. He actually owns a physical therapy company that specializes, which we're going to get into this, but specializes specifically in hunters and archers, helping with, I would assume, predominantly shoulder injuries from overuse or, something that stemmed from long ago. But why don't you, first of all, welcome to the show, but why don't you just give us a little bit of your background, tell us who you are, tell us where you're at, and and then we can just jump into it from there.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you guys having me on. So I'm a physical therapist by trade. I own Committed Rehab, which is specifically built for hunters and archers. Originally from central Wisconsin, I now live in Waukesha with my wife and kids. Met Wags, I don't even know, 10 years ago at this point, when Sticks opened in Waukesha. But grew up hunting. I still hunt now. It's a big part of obviously what I do. And I created this business now 3 years ago, and it's just kind of taken off. It's super simple. I work virtually with people, so I come right to you versus I'm in the process of looking into opening a physical location somewhere in the southeast part of the state down here in Milwaukee, but right now it's all virtual. It's been really good, really good.
Yeah, and like I had said, timing wise, right now makes the most sense because so many people are doing their 10 arrows a day or 50 arrows a day or whatever they want to do, and they're ramping up for the start of the season, which is probably about
pretty quick.
25 days away.
Days.
Yeah.
Something like that. And people are getting a lot of reps in, so it helps to, have you on right now because it's very topical for a lot of people. So many people are doing that. And all of a sudden they pull back the wrong way, they tweak something, and now they think that their season is done. But so you had this physical therapy practice. What made you kind of gear towards hunters and archers specifically? Was it a recurring issue that you saw with shoulders, or was it just the commonality of you also being an outdoorsman and doing a lot of that stuff and kind of putting yourself into that specialty?
Yeah, well, I played college baseball and I got hurt in college. I've had shoulder surgery, shoulder problems. And I remember, kind of going through my rehab process with a great provider, and it led up into the hunting season. I think it was 15, 16 at the time. And I remember, going through the rehab and being like, all right, you're good to go. I try to shoot my bow again. There's no shot I'm pulling back 50, 60 pounds. I was like, I'm freaking out. And I don't think it matters which bow shop you go to or who you talk to. There's a ton of guys inside there that are also like, yeah, you know, I don't know if I can pull back a bow anymore. I got to go to a crossbow. And the light bulb kind of clicked for me playing college baseball, dealing with shoulders all the time, that there has to be a connection to pulling your bow back. And I think it's just a really underserved market. And I think it's underserved also in a sense of there's not a ton of providers that also are involved in the sport itself. A lot of times you also see, you go to orthopedic surgeon or you go to whoever, like, hey, you know, I'm having pain shooting my bow. Their first piece of advice is, well, don't shoot your bow.
Right.
Which doesn't work for anybody that is a hunter in August, September, October, or November. So,
and you know, a lot of people I work with and talk to, these hunts are expensive. It doesn't matter if you're going on a hunting trip, like Wags, I just saw you guys just put in a bunch of food plots. Like that stuff costs money.
Right.
You have to be able to then produce with your body when the moment comes. And everyone talks about, like, you know, to me, I think it's crazy. And I talk about this a lot just on my page and just what I do. We spend all this money on our equipment. We spend all this money on a lease, or if you own a property, you might spend a bunch of money to go out west or wherever it is. Why would you not make sure that your body's ready to go to give yourself the best chance of success? And that's really what I've tried to do is really try and bring that part up to par for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Do you see more people going through reconstructive, torn labrums, torn rotators, on a different, like the accident or the injury occurs doing something else, but then when season starts or preparing for the archery season, they say, whoa, I need help? Or do they come to you right after the surgeon tells them, we are going to go inside you and we're going to repair your torn labrum?
It's kind of all the above. I mean, the big one I get, especially this time of year, and I try and get ahead of this because as we approach the season, I get a lot of people that message me or call me or email me, whatever, and say, hey, I'm going out west tomorrow. Like, all right. I mean, we can work something, but it's not going to be as good. I try to be, preventative with it, but a lot of people, and I think this is normal. Like, I try and shoot my bow year round. A lot of people don't do that. And I think that's fine. A lot of people, especially in Wisconsin, it's such a part of just our culture. They start shooting their bow a week or two before the season. If we can do some things beforehand just to get you ready to go, that's fine. Or a lot of people, they start shooting like, oh, well, shoulder's done. But then they don't do anything about it, and we like to complain about it. There's active things we can do to get you back to shooting pain-free. It should be normal.
Yeah.
And you should be able to pull 70 pounds, no problem.
What
Yeah. Did you hear that, Wags?
the hell's wrong with you?
That pull up.
That's because he didn't pitch.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so which of course that makes sense, and you can send somebody to their Walmart or whatever to buy some bands and like try and warm their shoulder up. How do you normally handle those situations when it's almost very similar to a bow shop. Now we hear it all the time because, like, okay, so if we go to Buck Rub or if we go to Whale Tails or if we go to wherever, you know, they're going to have very different lead times. But even if you go in and you're like, hey, I have this thing upcoming, it's 2 days away. Okay, well, we'll try and help you, but I also can't make any promises. How are you kind of guiding that conversation then to help those people while they're away? Because, of course, you want to do your service to them, but also being realistic about it.
Yeah, I mean, that part I think is the most important part, and that's really just how my personality is just very upfront and honest. I think life's too short not to be honest with people. So that itself is part of the conversation, is being realistic about what's going on. Second part of it is I know, and this has been just like an evolution of the business itself. For me, business kind of slows down during the hunting season because everyone's gone.
Right.
Super busy in the summer as people are getting ramped up. But the stuff I do, you can do anywhere. I have a lot of people that are on hunting trips that are still rehabbing their shoulder because there's things that you can do to offset some of the painful movements and just get you through. Then we tie everything together after the season.
Yeah.
And a lot of times too, this drives me nuts too. And this happens from a bow shop to a PT perspective to hunting trips. My ultimate goal is to spread positivity and welcome people into the community. I think a lot of people are also turned off by just negative interactions where they go into a bow shop, they can't pull 50, 60, 70 pounds or whatever, and they get turned off because their body's not moving right. Where we put in, like, you can do this stuff. We just have to be accurate with what we're doing and actually do things that are going to help you.
Yeah.
If you want to be a bow hunter, it's not like, hey, today I'm going to bow hunt this year. I'm going to go to the shop and I'm going to shoot bow. You really, you're right. There's things to prepare yourself. The body, the human body, obviously, you know it better than me. The human body works for everybody differently in so many different ways.
Yeah.
So where you tweak, where you tight, where you're loose, little things like that.
Yeah.
I think it's very important that you do. And I'm guilty of the second. I shoot maybe 2-3 weeks. I'll pull the bow out right now and I'll shoot maybe up until opener. Now Tasker's been shooting all year. I mean,
well, I'm going to shoot my bow tomorrow.
Well, excuse me, but just in general, you know, I'm that guy. So that's the thing where you need, I can see the interaction, but people have to realize that it is an action. It's an action that's taking place with your body, whether you're throwing a baseball, a football, a basketball, or pulling back a bow. Your body isn't accustomed to it unless you prepare it for it.
Right.
Well, and for you, Wags, it is literally the same as you doing lessons now, coaching your playing career. Bow hunting is the same thing, whether you're in an archery league or going to a 3D shoot or just shooting with your buddies. How many times have you had a conversation where like, how do you do that? Oh, just do it like this. Well, my body doesn't move the way yours does. We have to figure out, why is it not getting in the position that it's causing pain or having an issue?
Yeah.
Dive deeper into it and then build something on how you move. I mean, how many times have you had that conversation with pitchers?
All the time.
Right? It's the same type of thing. It's just a different mechanism, if you will.
Nobody has the same arm swing. Nobody has the same pull. In baseball, simply put, nobody has the same size hands. Like I say, hold a baseball like this, and my finger's longer. My pointer finger is much shorter than my middle finger, where some people, you're right, there's so many different variables to pitching, but now there's different variables to how your body moves to pull back and release a bow.
Mm-hmm. And of course, over time, I've done this long enough where you see patterns in people, but everyone is unique on it. And I again, I'm a huge believer that everyone can shoot a bow pain-free, and you can pull the draw weight that you want to. I have some people that shoot 80, 90-pound bows. A lot of clients, they're just at 50. It doesn't matter. We can get you where you want to go.
I just look at Wags. Wags has been talking about getting a new bow, and I'm like, oh, man, how great is that guy? I keep thinking, how great. I'm going to be the wimp in this partnership. He's going to be shooting like an 85-pound draw weight. He's going to be working with Dr. Joe. He's going to get his shoulder up the stuff. He's going to be ready to go. I do think it's crazy, though. And maybe you have like a feeling about it one way or another, but they keep coming out with higher poundages. Like 70 kind of used to be the cap on like the high end, but now we're getting into these like 80, 85, or I think they're like the Cam Hanes and Joe Rogan bow is like a 90-pound draw weight. So do you have any feelings on that? Are you thinking we're going too far? Is there like any limitations that you're seeing with that?
I mean, my opinion is purely objective, and I have this conversation with everybody that I talk to, because everyone I work with, we go through a full body assessment. I look at everything you can do, but I also look at how you shoot your bow, because a lot of times those two are linked. If there's an issue, it's going to show up here, it's going to show up here. I want you to get to a comfortable weight. Like for me personally, I prefer 70. Why? I don't know. It feels good to me.
But it feels good. Yeah.
Yeah. I have no interest in going up. I've shot deer at 50 pounds. I didn't know that. The first couple deer I shot was at 50, and I just said, never checked it. It's just what felt comfortable. Yeah. My opinion is purely objective. Like the numbers, the video, everything tells me what's going on. Your opinion on that doesn't matter to me. I mean, I get a ton of people like, I can pull back 80. Okay, let's see it. And it looks terrible. I'm like, God, my shoulder's killing me. I'm like, well, here's why.
Because it's too much.
And that, to me, like that's not like the ego part in hunting, I think, is insane in today's world.
Yeah.
To me, that like it never affects me, the ego part. Like I don't care if you shoot a little buck. I don't care if you shoot a big buck. I just want you to enjoy the outdoors and welcome people into the community. Like, have fun with it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that we've always been trying to talk about.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I want $1 million, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to get it just because you want to shoot.
It's really
whatever
the same
that number
example.
is. 65, 75, 85 pounds doesn't mean that that's what makes sense. But guess what? Like, I can live life without $1 million. You can also kill deer without an 85-pound draw weight. So you're much more effective in finding a setup that actually works for you and that fits with what you're doing, as opposed to I'm Tarzan and I can draw a 90-pound draw weight. Yeah, but for what?
I'm not. I don't look to draw. I'm very comfortable with what I do.
Yeah.
But I always relate it back to baseball. Then the guy who's getting somebody out with a 85 or a 90 mile an hour fastball wants to throw 95, 96. I get that on that perspective.
Yeah.
But for the bow, I'm like you just said, I'm happy. I harvest the animal. I go between both crossbow and compound bow, depending on where I'm sitting, whether I'm inside an enclosed redneck on a certain field or I'm in the woods. So then I'll use the bow. But I'm at 50. I think we just cranked it 2 cranks, and I think
you got up
58,
to
56.
It was like 54, 56, or 58.
Yes,
like
right around in there. And that was with 2 full spins on both.
Yeah.
So I think, could I shoot 60? Do I want to go to 70, 80? No, I'm not going out west. My shooting range is my shooting range. I feel comfortable at a certain distance, and I feel comfortable with the arrow, with the equipment, and I feel comfortable with what I can do. So that's not an ego thing. But if you told me if I could do this and do that and throw 100 miles an hour, I'd do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I don't know. I think there's so much of that. I think you nailed it there's so much ego in it. And you touched on this before, and I'm going to just like circle back to it, is like just spreading positivity, trying to like bring awareness, bring some education. That's kind of what this show is all about. And unfortunately, the clips that do 800,000 or 1 million views are the ones where we intentionally clip it in a way that it can be distorted in whatever capacity. Like we didn't do one last week, or I didn't do one last week with our interview. We won't do one this week, but we've done this Campfire Controversies series where it's let's talk about something that could be discussed at a campfire at deer camp. And Legs, you take one side and I'll take the other side, and maybe we agree on it, maybe we disagree on it. But there are so many times where people just get so worked up about it and just lose their mind because they think they have the right way of doing it. And I automatically pin a comment to the top of those now saying, this is a segment we do. Its intent is to foster discussion. And we're going to have the conversation both ways. Doesn't mean that we think one way or the other is right. It just lights the internet on fire. And it's the exact reason that we did it, because we wanted to have those conversations, because I think they're worth having.
Totally. And when I first started things, if you had a negative comment, and I've posted this before, I'll delete you right away and block you.
Yeah.
Because I have no interest in it. The hunting community is full of that stuff, but I also think those conversations, like, honestly, to me, it's very political in the big sense, right? Like, people can't talk about politics now. I feel like people can't talk about hunting and be like, I'm sure there's something we disagree on, which is totally fine. Right. But if my hope is that you give me a perspective I haven't thought about. I might not agree with it at the end of it, but I'm like, oh, okay, I can understand that.
Yeah.
And that's what real life, like you just said, Paul, there is none of that anymore. It's not. There's no, hey, I can step back and listen to Joe. Yeah. Okay, but I can see that. I just don't agree. There's none of that anymore in the world.
No, and I really think life's too short. Like, I'll give you guys a little backstory. So, like, I really dove into this, especially like trying to spread some positivity in the hunting world. I'm 29 years old. At 26, my dad got diagnosed with brain cancer. So he's the one that got me involved in hunting. In a moment, your entire like hunting scenario changes. Like now, when you're successful, there's always that someone you want to call, right? that was taken away from me instantly.
Yeah.
Right. So I really think like life is too short to have any of this animosity. Like you need to enjoy these hunting moments, just like anything in life, but especially in hunting, like you need to enjoy these moments, enjoy the people you're around. I'm all about just the atmosphere. Like I go to a traditional Wisconsin deer camp every year. I love the camp part as much as the hunting part. Like it is such a blast to be a part of, you know, drink a couple beers once you're successful, drag a deer out, cut the deer up. Like all that stuff is so much fun. I feel like we've lost that because it's so focused on social media. Like, did I shoot a big one? Like, oh, no, that's not big enough. To me, like,
but were you excited when you were going to shoot it? That's what matters.
That's my thing. I don't care what you want to do.
Yeah. So my dad is still hunting, and he just turned 73. He's been shooting a crossbow for a bunch of years. He worked in a foundry. He's had both hips replaced and a knee replaced. He's gone through like everything. And it has been such a joy for me because this year we won't do it, but for the last like 8 years, we've done 9, 10, or 11 days at the tail end of October into November up north. My uncle brings a trailer up there. We do all that, and it's just time to get away and kind of reset. And like that's really our deer camp.
Mm-hmm.
But when my dad never passes deer. Like he will shoot whatever deer walks out in front of him. He had a small buck. We had probably 8 different bucks on camera last year. And there was a small buck that walked in one day. He didn't shoot it. And an hour later, it came back and it hung out there for 10 minutes. And I was like, there's no way he's not going to shoot this deer. And all of a sudden, I heard and I'm like, all right, well, I guess he finally shot it. But that's just it. Like, I don't care what kind of deer he shoots. He was excited to do that. And that gets frowned upon so often. I mean, he has a rack of probably 8 different deer that are little spikes, forks, and 5-pointers. But that's what gets him excited. He doesn't care. He just wants to have venison.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's nothing at all wrong.
No, and I feel like that should be promoted more. I'll give you guys just a little fun story just off of that too. So the first year my dad got diagnosed, he went through chemo, went through radiation, went through a stem cell transplant. It was pretty big. He gets to the fall. He's like, I think I'm going to hunt. I'm like, okay. We get to our hunting cabin and talking to him. I'm like, I'm going to sit with you because we don't know what you can do. He's like, nope. I'm going to sit by myself. And we got it's a grain wagon that we put a floor on top of and we put a tent on top of it. So he's sitting on this field and I told him, because he's notorious for doing this, he's luckier than anybody I've ever seen. Shoots a bunch of deer. Like, you have 1 buck tag. I am not giving you mine.
Yeah.
So, 6:30 in the morning, hear him shoot. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. He texts me, he said, stay where you are. There's a bunch of deer out. I'm like, all right, whatever. I shoot one in the meantime. So I pull mine out and we go out to get his. I'm like, what did you shoot? He's like, I don't know. I think a nice one. I'm like, okay. Where did you shoot it? He's like, right here. And he's colorblind too. So I think it's right here.
So he's not blood tracking.
No. He's sitting in the Ranger. I think it was right here. Well, sure enough, he was 100% spot on, the exact spot. Walk in and see him like 30 yards away. And he uses a 6mm rifle, which is smaller than a .223. He's never changed in 30 years. Right through the heart, shot a little spiker. He was so excited. Yeah. I think we celebrated that one. You know, you don't care the size of it. It was just awesome. To be honest, I wish we would have mounted it, but we didn't.
Yeah.
Because that was the last one that he shot. You know, that stuff is a blast to me. And that's what I try and promote in the business too, is, again, positivity. Everyone can enjoy the outdoors. Everyone can, enjoy this whole process. Get rid of all the ego stuff. Get rid of all the negativity, because it's going to be out there anyway.
Yeah. Right. That's so great. And for you to not know, and then for you to find it, walk up on it after he says, yeah, I think it's a good one. It doesn't matter at that point.
No.
Like, already that he's happy with it.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what matters.
Yeah. I think when we talk about that, for your business, do you find it that more people, like they have that in their mind that, hey, Joe, can you help me? Yeah, my name is Paul Wagner. I shoot a 56-pound draw weight. Can you get me to 8? I mean, is that what I want to, or is it mainly, hey, I shoot what I shoot, but it's just painful? Can you get me back to my comfort level that I've been used to many years? Or, hey, can you maybe strengthen me? Give me that exercise that I can do a little more. Which way do you generally get?
I mean, I get a lot of both. This is the tricky part with just the influencing generation is like Cam Hanes. Cam Hanes he's the upper echelon. Like, people don't understand how much work that guy puts in. You're not going to be Cam Hanes. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I get, a certain percentage of people that, well, Cam does this, I want to do this. Well, your body's not built that way. But to be honest, and this has been a pleasant surprise, and actually a lot of my clients from across the country, I've got one client down in Arkansas that he invited me down to go hunt on his property. They're just like normal guys that just like, hey, I just want to shoot pain free and be successul this year. I don't care what it's at. Like, to me, it's been really cool growing up in Wisconsin, which I think is small town-esque. Mm-hmm. A lot of other states are like that. We see all the negativity, crazy influencing stuff in hunting, but there's a lot of, like good old boys, if you will, that are just normal guys that like to hunt, females that like to hunt. I mean, it's fun.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Okay. I have a question for you, and I don't know if there's really an answer for this, but does your axle to axle length, like shooting shorter or longer, does that help or hurt like your shoulder more? Or I guess I think you know what I'm trying to ask, but like, does that impact you in any way, whether you have shorter or longer axle to axle?
Yes. I mean, shorter to axle is going to put a ton more pressure on being perfect.
That's why. That's my problem. I shoot that old little triax, and I believe it's I think it's 28. 27, 28.
Yeah, that's pretty short.
So that's why I need to go to the ARC.
Like 29 or 31, 33 on that upper side, but yeah.
And like different manufacturers, the different cams, like that is going to matter. I mean, business wise, truthfully, like Matthews is one of my greatest tools, if you will, to my business, because they have less forgiveness. You have that weight in your hand the whole time. You're going to know if you're going to have pain or not. Hoyt gets you over the top a little bit because it helps you. Shorter to axle is going to expose those weaknesses, where a longer axle to axle gives you more forgiveness.
Sure.
But same conversation. Like, if you want to shoot a 28, great. Like, let's figure it out. Like, it's all about what you're comfortable with. And then
I just know what. So I got the lift. And I think it's whatever the short one is, 29 and a half or whatever. I think so, 29. And I noticed right away going from my V3 to that one that the hump to get to the back wall was so much more aggressive. So it's like, I mean, that's just all strain getting in that like weakest spot in that, like, I don't know, say 60 to 70% back. And that's where you're like pulling so hard, and that's got to be like the weakest trajectory for your lats and for your shoulder, but that's where you get all the strain. So it's cool that you're shooting super fast, but at what cost, I guess, right? Because you don't just gain speed without giving up something else.
No, and as you just kind of mentioned that, honestly, in an ideal world, this is out of my wheelhouse, I know nothing about this stuff, is I have a bow shop in my business, if you will.
Okay.
You're like, Wags, I think you should shoot a Matthews. Another customer, I think you're based on your body, you should shoot a PSE. And then we can fit you based off of what we see.
Oh, okay.
That's super nice. So do you do that a lot for clients? Because that's actually really interesting, just to be able to do that.
I've had the conversation more, which that's just, again, as I keep doing this longer and longer, just noticing patterns. That's something I'm kind of mentioning more a little bit. The tricky part is, I think we're just so biased. Why do I drive a Ford truck? I don't know. I just like it. I have nothing against any other brand. It's just what I drive. I think bow hunting's the same thing. Why do you shoot a Matthews? I don't know. I like it. Everyone else is.
I think that's a good angle to go to.
That
really is.
Interesting.
The way you move, the less forgiveness, the easiness for you would be to go to X. If you did it this way, Y would be a little tougher for you, but I like that. That's a good analysis for everybody.
That's super cool, honestly. So what are some of those key indicators that you look for when placing somebody, so you're going down the path with somebody, hey, we're going to try and get you into the right manufacturer at least. What are some of those things? Is it all video in the way that they're pulling back? Is it a strength capability? Is it a range of motion thing? What are some of those things that you look at when you start to diagnose that problem and try and kind of like skew somebody down into something?
All the above, just in the reverse order. First thing I want to look at is how your body moves. So range of motion. Okay. That will give me a ton of information right then and there. Usually that tells me exactly where I'm going to lead to. Second thing I want to look at is the strength and stability of that area. The video just confirms everything that I already said. It just proves it to me that this is what's happening. The video does not lie. That's one thing I talk about all the time. Like, and I even feel this in myself. I mean, I film a ton of content. I look at the video. I'm like, God, what are you doing? I didn't feel myself doing that.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Like the video itself is just right there. I mean, not that we need to break it down in game film type stuff, but it tells us everything that's going on. The hard part is then adjusting to what you're seeing. And like this position, for instance, pulling a bow back. Most people, when they go this way, when they pull down, like the elbow draw, you're trying to clear out tightness in the shoulder. So you get it all in the bicep. At some point, you will have pain and potentially tear your bicep. At some point. There's this theme now of getting really high and bringing it down. Well, if you don't have the range of motion to get there, you're going to have a problem.
It doesn't matter,
And the shoulder itself is not strong enough just to move 70 pounds in that direction. You have to have some help from the shoulder blade.
Yeah. Oh. And also from the lat, right?
The lat is a driver. It's a stabilizer. I think a lot of people go to the lat too much, which then it shuts off the shoulder. But again, that's where if you use a ton of lat on your draw, which is a lot of this too, you're just trying to compensate for some weakness up top. We have to figure out where that weakness is coming from and address it.
Interesting.
Wow. Okay, and then I'm just so intrigued by this. So how do you typically move down the path with them then? Like, did you actually shoot all of these different manufacturers? There's just like different like quirks with each one of those draw cycles and like hand placement and like the way that the efficiency of the cams work and everything. And so you kind of figured that out first and then you can steer people that way.
Yeah. I mean, I run into issues too. Awesome. I mean, I don't have a home bow shop, if you will, right now. I wish I did. I just, one with young kids at home, I just can't get out enough. But I would love to like shoot every year's bows all the time. I mean, I have a good reference just to really break each one of them down. I just don't, like personally now, I just don't have, and especially starting this business, don't have a ton of contacts just to be like, hey, can I just come in for the day? And I just want to shoot every one of them and get an idea. On the overarching theme, I have a really good idea of what each one will produce, but those year-to-year nuances, there are a ton of differences, and nobody's talking about it because I just look at it from a different angle than, the manufacturer or, whatever, Ranch Fairy talking about heavy arrows, right? Like everyone just has their own angle on it.
Yeah.
When it comes to bows, you're right. There's big people, there's little people, there's skinny people, there's tall people, there's long arm people, there's short arm people, there's
men versus
women,
adults
there's
versus kids.
Yes, there's so much. So yeah, when you dig deeper into it, I realize now your evaluation is strictly or can be initialized through video right off the bat. Okay. This is a little bit older person. I don't want to get whatever it is, or this guy's got short arms. He's got long arms. He's way back. He's an athlete. He's not. I mean, the video, you're right. It doesn't lie, but it doesn't lie in a lot of different it gives you a lot of answers, not necessarily the answers you always for those questions you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, a lot of times the video, we're like, okay, we need to work on X, Y, and Z. Okay, work on X, Y, and Z. I don't touch your shooting form. The shooting form takes care of itself.
Because you build up strength, you build up flexibility, you build up range of motion, and all of a sudden doing the big sky draw turns into maybe just pushing and pulling and actually doing it appropriately.
Yep.
Wow, that's
or like another example, just because you brought up the push and pull. A lot of times I see trigger panic, target panic. Oh, I got to change my release. No, it's because you can't control the position. That's why you're punching it. It doesn't matter what release you shoot. Or a lot of people go to a clicker to get rid of the target panic. No, it's not the clicker. It's because you can't get in the push and pull. We have to add the stability. It's your body. Your body takes care of the problem.
Weird. It's like all of the things that I've thought about for the last year and a half. So during Winter League, I don't know. I have always shot a wrist release, like wrist strap with just like trigger. Index, and I had the same release since I started bow hunting like 15 years ago, and for an entire season, I used the new version of that same release, the same. Whatever, True Fire, True Ball, or whatever it is, and I just could never get comfortable with it. There was just something about it once I went to the new one, because the old one broke. When I went to the new one, I could not get comfortable with it, and it like just totally started playing mind games. So I think it was 3 weeks into Winter League, and I'm like, I've tried shooting a thumb release before, but I'm gonna just buy like a cheap thumb release. I'm going to buy a couple different cheap thumb releases from Amazon. I just want to try it. I'll just shoot into a 4x4 bail. So if I mess up, I'll shoot it into, maybe a corner instead of like sending it sailing into the moon. So I went from like, say it was 250s average to shooting it was like a 30-point jump in the first week. Just by changing my release, and I was like, see, I knew it. It's always been the release. But the reality of it is I think there were a lot of other things going on with that, but that's so interesting to hear.
And then don't get me wrong, I do think there's a huge component, and this is where like my baseball background, Wags, I think you could appreciate this too. I do think there's a huge component in just being confident in what you have. Why do you use this glove? I don't know. I play better with it.
It's a glove I've always used.
Like
it's the one I
same
need.
thing with release. Like I use a Carter. Why do I use a Carter? I don't know. I've always used Carter. I've never tried anything else. I think it works.
Yeah.
You have first and foremost, you have to be confident with what you're doing. Then we can build, or vice versa. We build it so that you are confident in it. I mean, that's why there's so much of the argument. I think it's confusing in the archery world now and hunting. Like personally, I could care less what arrows you use. Can you hit the target when you need to? Like I'm on the heavier arrow. I'm not super heavy. I'm on the heavier end. Why do I do that? I don't know. It just hits the target and hits it square, and it hits it every time that I want it to.
And you're confident in it.
I use a fixed blade broadhead. Why do I do that? I don't know. I've always used it, and it works for me. I think so much of that just gets so confusing that people are just like, oh my God. And then
and there's so much on social media that, like, if you follow somebody, okay, we'll use Cam Haynes. Okay, Cam is shooting a 90-pound draw weight now. Well, I need to up my poundage. Why? Well, because Cam is. Well, that doesn't matter. It's just like, oh, well, I shoot mega meat broadheads. Well, why? Oh, well, because Michael Waddell and T-Bone, they use it. So, and I really like those guys. Okay, well, you can try it, but if it works for you, even better. Mm-hmm. Like, I strongly believe in everything that I have. Great. Because I know it's killed deer. I know I can kill deer with it. But we just had that conversation maybe 3 or 4 episodes ago. The best thing you can have is confidence in what you're shooting.
Yeah.
Because you just know, like when I went out there last year, I'm like, I just need a chance. Like, I know if I get an opportunity inside of 40 yards, I will kill the deer with my ball.
Right.
With my gun is a different story. But we'll talk about that some other time. But... And it just, it's good to hear that, because just sometimes you need to hear it so simply that, like, it can be really confusing. like, what should you shoot? Easton's, Carbon Express, Victory arrows, whatever. It doesn't matter as long as it works for your bow and you're comfortable with it. That is what matters.
Building the confidence. You said either you have confidence or you have to build the confidence up. Either way you go, you have to work for it and you have to be comfortable in your situation. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the big thing that I do is we have to figure out why that confidence isn't there. A lot of people I talk to all the time too, right? You see this random exercise online, like you're having a problem here, do this exercise. Well, that exercise might not even be for your problem. So you get through it and you're not any better. So you're all pissed off. Well, we have to figure out exactly what's going on to begin with so that we can build that confidence back so you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Right.
So let me ask you this. If somebody has, I'm trying to think of the right way to position this. So I haven't hunted in a while. Say it's maybe 5 years. Life got in the way. I haven't drawn my bow in forever. I used to shoot a 70-pound bow. I pull it back, and all of a sudden, oh my God, my shoulder pops, and it's sore, and it's, all those things. Like, you just try and get through a couple reps just to start going again. As somebody starts aging and getting older in their hunting career, if they walk away and they come back, it doesn't necessarily mean that they need to reduce their draw weight, right? I mean, that's a fair assessment, right?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of reducing draw weight at all.
Yeah.
At all.
So how do you, and maybe you've experienced that because that's more of a psychological side of it, but also playing into the physical element. Is that a conversation you've had before with a client? And
Yes.
how do you typically handle that with them?
All the time. So there's two things that I hear all the time is I started shooting my bow, August 1st. I had pain with it. So I stopped shooting for 3 days and then I went back to shooting. I still had the pain. Okay. Or it's started shooting, August 1st, I was at 70 pounds, dropped it down to 60, wasn't having pain at 60, bumped it back up to 70. I'm having pain. Well, both of those examples, you did absolutely nothing to try and improve what was actually causing the pain. So why would we expect improvement?
Sure.
Again, that's very straightforward and very
Right.
blunt.
Yeah.
Right.
It's also the truth. Once we accept that truth, change is going to happen. So dropping and draw weight, I'm not big on it at all. At all.
I like that.
Because then you have to change. You got to change your sight. You got to change
It's
everything.
putting a Band-Aid. You're not fixing anything. Like you just said, you're not fixing it.
Yeah. They're very, very seldom situations that I do that.
Wow. Yeah. And so, okay, let's just go just random. This is virtual. You are virtual. Well, Joe, I want you to take a look. I'm going to shoot. Do I take my cell phone, his cell phone? Do I give you 3 tripods? Do I give you a profile? Do I give you video shooting straight at you, drawing back from behind, from the sides? What would a customer anticipate you asking for?
Yeah, so I run everything through social media. So I have Instagram account, which is just my name, DPT account. Website is committedphysicaltherapy.com. You can reach out to me on either one of them. We set up a call like this. It's on Zoom. We go through everything on video, and depending on what your setup is, I have some people that have multiple angles. Some people, I position it as we're doing it or tell you what to do.
Yeah.
I record everything and I break it down. So it's just like watching game film live. We're trying to do this. We're trying to do this. We're trying to do this. Everyone I work with, I also give my personal phone number. So we're in constant communication about what's going on, how you doing. I track everything from getting your arrow count up, because a lot of times I see this too, where people are feeling better. Everything's great. They send me a text like, hey, God, I don't know what happened. Shoulder's killing me. I'm like, okay, well, what could have changed? Well, I felt good. I shot 200 arrows today. Well, 2 days ago, you shot 0. So we've got to control what we're doing and progress things in the right way. It's just like a pitcher going to spring training, throwing a 100-pitch bullpen. Right. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So we control everything. Everything is like this.
I feel like you probably see that more than what we realize. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that, and I'm guilty of it too, where I'll just go out and I'll send 50 arrows after not shooting for 3 months. Like, well, my shoulder's sore, and it's not like a bad sore. It's just obviously I was working muscles. That's That's got to happen all the time where people are just thinking they can just go out. Oh, yeah, well, I shot this bow. I shot 1,000 arrows last year. So, like, I won't have a problem with this draw weight.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just go out and I'll shoot 50 arrows to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah. And, a lot of people do have success with it, right? Like, for example, like, let's say this is, just an assessment call with the two of you. And you're not having shoulder pain, but I go through, the full assessment. I'm like, Wags, this is what I'm seeing. You should probably change this. Well, if you're not having pain with it, realistically, you're not going to do anything because there's no incentive, right?
True.
Right.
True.
Yes. Do I have a ton of people that I work with that are doing that just to get ahead of it? Yes. But that's a small percentage. And a lot of people do it the opposite of how I think is as the season gets closer, they shoot more. The second August 1st hits, I might shoot 1 arrow a day.
Yeah.
I want to simulate as much of a hunting situation as possible. And if I'm good on that one, I'm good.
And of
again,
course,
it's all about building that confidence.
The most important arrow is the first one, because that's why so many people do those cold shot challenges where it's just, I'm going to go out, I'm going to shoot 1 arrow a day for a week, and I'm going to see how it is. I'm going to see if I improve or, get worse. But that first arrow is the most important one because the reality of it is if you're anything like us, if you're going out in the morning, you're probably not setting up a floodlight and shooting at a target before you go out. So that first one is the one that matters.
Right.
And I do a big test at the end and at the beginning. At the bare minimum, you should be able to hold it 30 seconds full draw and execute a good clean shot. With people at the end, I try and see how as long as you can go.
Okay. What's the longest somebody's held it for?
The longest I think someone's at maybe 3.5 minutes.
Okay, that's a long time. Could you imagine having a whitetail standing in front of you for 3.5 minutes?
And 3.5 minutes.
I just need him to take another step. Well, a half hour later.
And 3.5 minutes seems like about 3 hours.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with all that adrenaline on it.
We are we're at 1:57 here, so we only have a couple minutes, but man, we'd love to have you back on again. I feel like this is a conversation we can keep having and keep throwing questions and scenarios at you. With the last couple minutes here, why don't you, if there's anything else you want to touch on, or Wags, if you have any other questions for him?
No, I'd let Joe. I want you take the stage right now and finish us up here and make sure that everybody knows how to get a hold of you and where you are.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I'm in Waukesha, but I work virtually with people across the country. You can reach out to me through Instagram. Again, Joe Ogden DPT is my personal account that I post everything on. Or you can reach out on the website. There's a link to schedule a Zoom call with me on my personal calendar. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Honestly, if you guys want to you can put my cell phone on there if you want to just text me as well, like, hey, I'm looking for some help. I have no problem doing that too. Again, my goal with what I do is just spreading positivity and trying to just get people into the outdoors, because I think, again, numbers are dropping drastically. Trying to get people in the outdoors, enjoy it, and be successful at it. That's it.
And stay.
And obviously, like in the local community, now that I live down here, of course, trying to just, expand just like the local connections and just, again, have good relationships with people, because I think hunting is such a great thing, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, I'm thinking, I don't know. Do you know Chris Ham at HHA? Everything that he's doing with HHA USA. I'm going to see him tomorrow. I will. I'm going to introduce you guys, because I think what you're doing could be very beneficial for.
If that counts for anything, I'm a paying customer.
What's that?
What is it?
I'm a paying customer.
Yeah, no, that definitely helps. But I'm going to see him tomorrow. We have our final stop on this HHA USA tour for 2026. We'll be up at Lambeau. And I don't know if you've served or any of that stuff, but I feel like you're close enough to a first responder or like somebody that gives back that everything that they do is all focused on veterans and first responders. But I certainly feel like you could be an asset for him and maybe a way to tie in with that.
My business model, I give a ton back to those people. I give them massive discounts. I just believe in that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so I will make that connection for you for sure tomorrow.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So what we'll do is we'll put all of your contact information, your website, Instagram, cell phone, all of that in the description of this episode. That way people can just reach out directly to you.
Yeah.
we'll post it live tomorrow morning. I mean, it's Thursday afternoon, but I'll schedule it to go out probably 7 a.m. tomorrow. And then over the course of the next couple of days, as I always do, I'll make sure to get some clips and we'll collab with you on that so that, people are able to find you that way as well.
Yeah,
but
cool.
I don't know if you got anything else.
No, that's outstanding. That's outstanding. And hopefully we do reconnect again, and we will, because it's been so long.
Yeah.
And now it's very interesting. So I think this will be exciting. And congratulations to everything you've done. Congratulations to you and the family, the 3 children, and where you've come from the days I saw you sweating and stuff at the baseball facility. So, and me and you talking randomly when I'd come in for lessons. But congratulations to you. Super proud of you.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me on. I hope some value from your listeners on just some of the stuff I do and what we talked about today.
For sure. Well, and we always like to highlight Wisconsin brands, and you're right in our backyard. And I mean, Wags, which helps, but we would have had you on either way, because I actually thought about reaching out to you a while ago because I saw one of your ads. And I was going to just reach out and connect with you that way, but because I thought it'd be great to have you on. But yeah, I mean, we appreciate it. So, Mr. Wagner, another episode in the books. Find us anywhere that you find podcasts. We'll have this live tomorrow morning. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, pretty much anywhere and everywhere that you find podcasts, you'll be able to find us, the Flippin Sticks and Throwin Lead podcast. Another week down, and you know what? We didn't even get into anything else that is happening in the world.
This was a good conversation.
It was a great conversation.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much, Joe.
So thanks for your time, and we'll talk to you next week, guys.
I'm going to edit that out.